A mother stands in her quiet living room on a warm afternoon. Without warning, a local police officer knocks on her front door to hand her an official legal paper. Within minutes, her young child is led away to a waiting car. There was no trial, no advance warning, and no chance for her to speak in court. In a single moment, her entire world is flipped upside down. This sudden shock is the direct result of an emergency ex parte order signed behind closed doors. An ex parte motion is a legal request made by one parent without telling the other parent ahead of time. The Latin term simply means one side only. In regular custody cases, both parents receive legal notice and time to prepare their arguments. But in an urgent situation, one parent goes directly to the court alone. The missing parent receives zero warning until the decision is already made and enforced. It is one of the most drastic moves in family court. This fast legal move completely destroys the existing status quo in a matter of hours. The status quo represents the regular daily routines, living arrangements, and school schedules of the child. By filing this motion early, one parent creates a brand new living situation before the other parent even knows a legal fight has started. The court changes physical custody immediately, leaving the other parent suddenly locked out without a chance to defend themselves. For the young child caught in the middle of this sudden shift, the world becomes deeply confusing. A peaceful morning spent playing in a familiar bedroom turns into a swift ride to a new house. Favorite toys, nightly routines, and morning habits disappear overnight. The child does not understand complex court papers or emergency motions. They only know that one parent suddenly vanished from their daily life, leaving behind a heavy cloud of uncertainty and stress. To convince a court to sign such a paper, the filing parent must prepare a sworn written statement called an affidavit. This filing must prove that the child faces immediate physical danger or serious harm. It cannot rely on old complaints, general unhappiness, or minor arguments. The document must show clear and convincing facts that require instant protection. Every single sentence on that paper is crafted to convince the court that waiting even one day for a full hearing would endanger the child. Inside quiet judicial chambers, a judge reads through the urgent file without anyone else present. There are no live witnesses testifying and no opposing lawyers arguing against the claims. The judge must rely entirely on judicial discretion to make a critical choice. Judicial discretion means using experience and common sense to balance risk and safety. If the judge believes the alleged threat is real, they sign the temporary custody order immediately to protect the child from harm. When the excluded parent finally receives a copy of the signed order, shock quickly turns into profound panic. Reading the paper reveals extreme claims made against their character without their knowledge. They learn they are barred from calling, visiting, or seeing their own child for weeks. The feeling of absolute powerlessness is overwhelming. Everything they built as a loving parent is suddenly questioned and taken away based on allegations they never had a chance to deny. The temporary emergency order takes full legal effect the very second it is signed by the judge. However, constitutional law guarantees due process to every parent facing court action. Due process demands that every person receives notice and a fair opportunity to present their side of the story. Because the initial decision happened with only one side present, the law mandates a full emergency custody hearing very quickly, usually within 10 to 14 days. During those long, tense days before the court date, the accused parent launches a rapid legal counterattack. Attorneys work around the clock, gathering text messages, medical records, school attendance logs, and eyewitness affidavits. Every piece of paper is checked to prove that the claimed emergency was completely manufactured. The legal goal is not only to restore custody, but to demonstrate to the court that the filing parent intentionally misled the judge to gain control. Family courts across the nation face a difficult balancing act when dealing with emergency motions. If a judge acts too slowly or demands too much proof up front, A vulnerable child could suffer real abuse or injury. But if a judge grants emergency orders too easily, innocent parents lose their children based on false claims. This ongoing tension forces the legal system to constantly weigh the need for instant safety against the strict rules of procedural fairness. The target parent spends sleepless nights gathering evidence to prove their fitness as a mother or father. They organize years of peaceful daily routines, showing consistent care and safety for their child. Every photograph, doctor visit record, and teacher message becomes vital proof. Rebuilding a reputation that was destroyed in a secret court filing requires cold, hard facts. They know that missing even one detail could mean losing their child for months. Exposing a false emergency requires showing the judge a clear timeline of events. If the filing parent waited several weeks after an alleged incident before asking for an ex-parte order, the claim of emergency crumbles. Defense attorneys call this a lack of immediate harm. By proving that no actual crisis existed, the defense shows that the emergency filing was used as a dirty tactical weapon to flip custody rather than protect the child. The day of the full emergency custody hearing finally arrives, bringing both parents into the open courtroom. They sit at opposite counsel tables in front of the judge who signed the original temporary order. The parent who made the initial emergency claims must now stand on the witness stand and answer hard questions under oath. For the first time in the case, the judge hears both sides and examines the evidence in detail. While lawyers argue points of law inside the silent courtroom, the child continues to suffer from the disruption of their life. They miss their regular school friends, their neighborhood pets, and the quiet comfort of their original home. The emotional weight of adult conflict spreads into every part of a child's world. Even without understanding the legal system, young children carry the invisible stress of a family broken apart by court orders. When a judge discovers that an emergency claim was fabricated or wildly exaggerated, the atmosphere in the courtroom changes instantly. Judges view the court as a sacred place for truth and deeply resent being tricked into taking a child from an innocent parent. The filing parent's credibility collapses completely in a matter of minutes. A bad faith emergency motion often triggers severe consequences that ruin the filing parent's entire legal case. The filing parent, who lied to gain an upper hand, now faces a devastating emotional collapse. They walked into court hoping to lock in permanent control over their child, but instead find themselves exposed in front of a furious judge. The realization that their tactical maneuver failed creates overwhelming fear. Their attempt to weaponize the legal system leaves them stripped of credibility and facing potential legal penalties. The balance of power in the custody battle flips completely to the opposing side. The judge can immediately vacate the temporary emergency order and command that the child be returned to the accused parent right away. In many cases, judges go even further by granting primary physical custody to the parent who was wrongfully accused. The aggressive filing parent becomes the losing party as the court corrects the initial injustice. This dramatic reversal highlights the immense power of judicial discretion in domestic relations cases. Judges are given broad authority to punish bad behavior and protect the legal process from abuse. When a parent attempts to manipulate the court through false emergency claims, judges use their discretion to restore equity and justice. The legal system sends an unmistakable message that games will not be tolerated when a child's future is at stake. For the parent who spent weeks fighting a false emergency order, holding their child again brings tears of profound relief. Walking out of the courthouse back into the sunlight marks the end of a nightmare. However, the emotional trauma caused by the sudden separation does not disappear overnight. Rebuilding a sense of safety and trust requires time, patience, and a calm home environment free from legal turmoil. To ensure the child remains safe and protected from future legal battles, the court often appoints a guardian ad litem. This neutral attorney conducts an independent investigation by interviewing doctors, teachers, family members, and the child. Their job is to serve as the voice of the child and report objective facts directly to the bench. This neutral overview prevents future false emergency claims and helps the court focus strictly on the child's real needs. The judge issues a comprehensive permanent custody order that sets clear boundaries and fair schedules for both parents. The court establishes a stable status quo that neither parent can easily break or manipulate in the future. The order outlines precise rules for visitation, decision-making, and daily communication. This formal legal decree brings long-awaited structure and calm back to a family that was nearly torn apart by false claims. As normal life returns, the child settles back into their original school, favorite hobbies, and comfortable bedroom. The anxiety caused by sudden court moves slowly fades away as stable routines take hold. Children possess incredible resilience when surrounded by genuine care and structure. Living in a safe, predictable home environment allows the child to focus on being a kid instead of worrying about adult conflicts. There are severe long-term legal penalties for parents who misuse emergency ex parte motions. Courts routinely order the dishonest parent to pay thousands of dollars in attorney fees and court costs incurred by the other side. In addition, judges may limit their parenting time or require all future visits to be professionally supervised. The family court system ensures that making false emergency claims creates a lasting negative record that follows the parent for years. Even after the formal litigation ends and court orders are signed, both parents carry deep emotional scars from the intense battle. The parent who was falsely accused remains constantly vigilant, keeping detailed logs of every drop-off and text message. The trauma of having a child taken away creates a lasting protective instinct that never fully goes away. Peace returns to the home, but it is a vigilant peace built on strict boundaries. Despite the risk of abuse by dishonest parties, the emergency ex parte motion remains an essential safety net in modern family law. When a child faces genuine physical threat, neglect, or imminent danger, this fast-track order provides life-saving intervention. The legal system must preserve this powerful emergency tool for true crises, while remaining constantly vigilant against those who attempt to abuse it for personal tactical gain. In the final analysis, filing for emergency custody without notice is an ultimate gamble where truth is the only real currency. A legitimate emergency motion protects vulnerable children and saves lives when time is critical. But abusing this extraordinary power to gain an unfair edge destroys parental credibility and can cost a dishonest parent the very custody they fought to steal. In the delicate balance of family court, facts and integrity will always prevail.